Hello, everyone! Welcome back to another wonderful stream here on the Orbital platform. It's me, GoldenNova, the lore laureate, the explaining expert. So good to see all of you here again. Thank you, Borger with a Shotgun, for subscribing for 5 months in a row. Your entrance into the Deskbot squad is much appreciated. Thank you for your support and the support of everyone tuning in for another 5 batches of everyone's favorite things to do. We're talking about looking at custom cards. How are we all doing today? I'm seeing Marluxia, I'm seeing Borger, I'm seeing Beelzebub, I'm seeing King Rex Raptor, and Weesix. How's it going, everyone? Train Lover, Zara, Kulava, greetings. Good to see all of you. Oh, real quick, I need to switch over to the, let's go ahead and cut that music. We don't need that anymore. We don't need the music. I'm good. Hope you're amazing. I'm doing pretty good. And I'm remembering to get the audio boosted back up so people can hear the guest. Isn't everyone proud of me? Isn't everyone proud of me for my achievements? Let's go and get over there. It looks like Beluga Master's already waiting for us, so let's not delay any further. It's time to get started. Hello, Master of the Beluga. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing quite fancy. Another opportunity to look at everyone's creative fruits is on the horizon, and I cannot wait to imbibe of its delicious, fruity goodness. Alrighty, let me go ahead and unspoiler. I haven't seen what these are at all, so let's figure that out right now.
It's the last set of cards for the 3 strikes archetype.
Ah, we're going back to Ace Combat. Good old AC.
Yep. And since this last January, the month that this review is for, was the 5th anniversary of Ace Combat 7, I think it's kind of fitting that we're finishing up this month.
Oh, yeah. No, it's, I'm good. I thought I had a word to say there, and then I just started babbling out word soup. My apologies. I'm glad that they're getting a new game. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And I will go ahead and get started with Hero of the Lighthouse Trigger. Level 8 Wind Attribute Warrior Effect Monster. This card's name is treated as the 3 strikes while on the field or in the graveyard. Banish a number of monsters face up that mention the 3 strikes whose level equals or exceed 8 from your graveyard to special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. You can gain the following effects based on how many cards were banished this way. If you banished 1, this card gains 200 attack for each card that mentions the 3 strikes that you control or are face up banished. 2, this card can attack twice per turn. And 3, once per turn if your opponent would activate a monster effect from their hand or graveyard, negate the activation and burn them for 100 damage for each card that mentions the 3 strikes in the graveyard. And if you banished 4 of them, this card is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Hero of the Lighthouse clocks in at 2400 attack and 1300 defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of stuff going on for this guy. So this feels like the culmination of their journey. Is that right?
Yes. This is Hero of the Lighthouse is definitely what I would consider the boss monster for this. Is not an official title that the player character has, but it feels very fitting considering you as the player are the one to end what is called the Lighthouse War.
That's a name.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it's not actually revolves around an actual lighthouse.
No, it's a space elevator called the Lighthouse.
That's a good name for a space elevator.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good. Really quick, Kulava, thank you for subscribing with Primes. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Alrighty, let's go ahead and check out Sir Count, Hero of the Mirror. Level 8 Light Attribute Warrior Monster. If you control a level 6 or 8 monster whose original name contains Trigger, special summon this card from your hand or grave. If you control a monster whose name is the 3 Strikes quick effect, you can destroy one face-up monster your opponent controls and negate its effects in the graveyard until the end of this turn. If your monster whose name is the 3 Strikes would be destroyed, you can destroy this card instead. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn each, and while you control this card, all monsters you control whose name is the 3 Strikes gain 1,000 attack and defense. Oh, that's cool. So you get Hero of the Lighthouse out there. You get all of its little bonus effects. And then at some point, Sir Count comes along. You summon it for free. It's quick effect removal that negates, and it turns Lighthouse into a 3,400 monster.
On top of whatever attack boost Hero has naturally.
Good grief, that's good. Now, we know about the Lighthouse a bit more. What about the Mirror?
This is a reference to a spell card from last month, Harling's Mirror.
Oh, right. It's not a thing. It's a concept.
Yes.
Okay. Neat. All right. Next. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
There is one more thing I want to mention. There is another meme associated with the character of Count that I wanted to include, but I was never able to actually find or come up with an effect that I thought really fit. So Count is often quoted as saying, "Stick with trigger and you'll make it." And come the final mission, when you are about to go do the obligatory tunnel run into the final boss battle of the story, Count joins you, and as one of the other characters is sitting there, "Are you really sure you want to do this?" Count just says, "Stick with trigger and you'll make it." So I wanted to include a reference to that line somehow, but I was never able to come up with an effect that actually worked.
Now, having heard that, does that mean that the destruction replacement effect on Sir Count is highly ironic? Does it happen in the story that he has to he gets destroyed on one of his missions with trigger?
In that final mission, his aircraft is badly damaged while fighting the final boss, and he has to make a crash landing while you get to just fly up the chute of a space elevator.
Okay. but he makes it. He's okay.
Yeah, he does survive. Yes.
Okay. All right. Whew, I was getting worried there. All right. Next we have Mihaly A. Shalaj.
Mihai A. Shalaji.
Man, I was absolutely, completely out of that. Okay.
It's like a mixed Russian-Romanian name.
Okay, so the first one's Mihaly?
Mihai.
Okay, it's just Mihai. And then A.
Shalaji.
Shalaji. Mihai A. Shalaji. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Rank 8 Warrior Xyz monster. What attribute is this one?
He would be dark.
Dark, okay. Dark Warrior Xyz monster, rank 8, requiring 2+ level 8 effect monsters as material. Alternatively, you can also Xyz summon, use one Xyz monster your opponent controls as material for this card's summon, and if you do special summon that monster to your opponent's field, this is considered an Xyz summon, and it cannot be attributed or used as material for another card's summon. We have seen this before. We did this kind of thing last time, right?
Mm-hmm. The intention is to either fold two, or either they make an Xyz and you fold it into Mihai, or you fold two of their level 4s into Autonomous Drone 11F Raven, and then fold that into Mihai.
Woo! Alright, each player can only use the effect of this card once per turn. Detach an Xyz material from this card, and this card's owner can special summon a level 8 trigger monster that mentions the 3 strikes from their deck. Destroy this card to destroy one other card on the field. Oh, so the turn player can just activate this effect.
Yes.
Wow. Can they activate both effects?
That was the intention. I don't know if I got the PTSD, the problem solving card text on that correct?
It would have to be something along the lines of chicken game. It mentions like the turn player can activate this effect on
Okay.
there. So if that's the intention, then yeah, this seems like an incredible. Kaiju's probably the wrong word for it. It's a bit more specific. But if you can get this onto your opponent's field, you summon it, you activate the effect to get a trigger, and then you have it pop itself to pop another card on the board. Like, that's outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
And even if your opponent activates the destroy this card to destroy another card on the field, a lot of your stuff goes plus on destruction.
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead. Make my day. I'm basically unchained with wings. Alrighty.
Mm-hmm.
Next is Torres, Captain of the Alicorn. A Link 3 psychic monster with... I don't see an attack stat. I don't see an attribute.
The attack stat would be 3,000, and I don't probably be water attribute. I didn't actually think about that.
Water. Okay. So Link 3 water, 3,000 attack, psychic monster, requiring 2 or more monsters, including a monster that mentions the 3 strikes. The owner of this card can use their opponent's monsters as material for the Link summon of this card, but special summon it to their field if you do so. When this card is special summoned, pay 1,000 life points. Your opponent sets 1 1,000,000 lives or 1 10,000,000 lives card from their hand or deck to their spell and trap zone. The card set with this effect can be activated the same turn it is set. If you control a card that mentions the 3 strikes, banish this card from the graveyard. You can set a 1,000,000 lives or 10,000,000 lives card from your hand or deck to your opponent's spell and trap zone. The card set with this effect can be activated the same turn it's set. You can only use the effect of this card once per turn. One effect of this card per turn, and only once per turn. Alright, and I'm not going to get the full ramifications of that until I understand what these do. So I'm going to go ahead and get these read out so I know what the heck that's doing. So 1,000,000 lives is a normal trap card. When this card is set by a card effect, it is activated immediately. Pay 1,000 life points to destroy 1 card you control that mentions the 3 strikes and a card your opponent controls. Or 10,000,000 lives. When this card is set by a card effect, it must be activated immediately. Pay 1,000 life points. Each player can special summon a level 8 or higher warrior monster from their deck, and if the monster summoned does not mention the 3 strikes, banish the top 15 cards from their deck. Yikes.
So, Torres is from the DLC missions of Ace Combat 7.
Mm-hmm.
His backstory is he's the captain of a nuclear submarine that has kind of gone cult leader on some. And has the weight of charisma to convince people he is right.
Cool, and that ends very well, I'm sure.
Yes. You learn very quickly that he has adopted a mantra to end the Lighthouse War of 1,000,000 lives for 10,000,000 lives. In other words, he plans on killing 1,000,000 people to save 10,000,000 people.
Yeah, it's a very I can't even say it. It's spoilers for everyone. Go play the 999 games. Go do that. Anyway, but yeah, one of those utilitarian mindsets, which has historically always been a place that comes from empathy and always goes well. I say with as big air quotes as I could possibly put.
Like, it's one of those, like, he's an interesting character so far in the fact of he earnestly wants to end the war because he doesn't want fighting to be happening, but the only way he sees to be ending the war is to nuke the player's home country's capital.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, if they were so innocent, then why did all these people surround themselves around the big evil place? Obviously, it's okay to burn them in nuclear fire.
Exactly.
Air quotes. Also,
But
Marks, thank you for the bits. Trimorn Dragon appreciates the snack.
yeah, his quote his quote has kind of become a meme in the Ace Combat 7 community, mostly because of the delivery from the English voice actor. This is only it's as far as I can tell, it is only a meme in the English speaking community.
Oh, wait a sec. Okay. You said it was Ace Combat 7?
Mm-hmm.
Can we get this? Has this been clipped out? We got this? Okay, I'm going to see about grabbing that in between. Cause, I don't want to run the clock anymore on memes.
Yeah.
Mechanically, though, now that we've removed ourselves from that, mechanically, so we give this to our opponent by using their cards as material. We have to use one of ours unless they're on 3 strikes for whatever reason, but we're using, hopefully, at least one of their cards. They're
Mm-hmm.
forced to pay 1,000 life points because it's a mandatory effect, and then you give them one of the trap cards. They activate
Yes.
it. Whichever card that you feel is most advantageous, they are forced to activate it because of their own text. So, and then once in your graveyard, on a following turn, you can banish it to then get another copy of that, and then do it all over again.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, getting your best monster off of 10 million lives, and then your opponent, like, just whiffing, I imagine. What decks are running level 8 or higher warrior monsters right now? Infernoble?
I mean, I hear Immortal Phoenix Gearfried is pretty decent in Infernobles, but maybe not the current build.
Oh, true. I forget that a lot has changed now that Esol has taken an extended vacation. Yeah, so no, I think that's just a pretty good utility monster. Now, this is about as much as a kaiju as it gets. And for getting all the free stuff off of it, it's pretty good. I think this is a great addition to the theme.
Mm-hmm.
All right, anything else we should go over before we start putting some number grades on these?
I will say I actively went out of my way to not put a single lock on any of these cards because I intended to build this as a 60 card piles.
Well, heaven help you, because I won't. Let's get started. All right, so novelty. As usual, I think I've said this several times in the past, but I think it is worth saying for everyone who hasn't been here beforehand. You have created an archetype based around a monster, the 3 strikes, that does not exist. Several cards take on the name, but the card itself does not exist, and I think that's very funny and also cool. So that's already a really neat concept. We have taken the idea of using our opponent's monsters in a whole new direction thanks to your Xyz setup. We've had links, we've had contact fusions, but I don't think we've been able to use our opponent's Xyz monsters to gift them cards. So that's definitely new. And trap cards that you can give to your opponent that force themselves into activation is a mechanic that we haven't seen before. It's a lot of very flavorful ideas across the entire spectrum. They do have their logic, and I guess there's also the fact that they care about like getting blown up. There is a consistent through line of having a bunch of replacement effects. I think our novelty here can shake out to about a 4, I think.
Mm-hmm. As expected, novelty is going to fall after 3 months of the exact same archetype.
Okay, objectivity. I still think these are fine. Like we were talking about with Mihai, the fact that you need to use an Xyz monster they control, or they need to have 2 level 4s that you can make the rank for to do it on top of, means that you're not like shunting this onto everything. Torres is a little stranger because this can use an unlimited amount of their monsters. You have to make sure you use at least one of your monsters. But the trade-off is that if you're playing this off theme, you're giving them a 3k monster that does nothing, but it's still like humongous. And you have to be playing 3 strikes for it to work anyways. You can't just splash it. So it's like very specifically for us. So I don't think there's anything wrong. Like the whole when this card is set, activated immediately, that's new. We don't have a precedent for this. Like it I couldn't say like this is incorrect problem solving card text because there is no text for it. So I can't dispute that. So I think it's a 5 in objectivity. I think our power level so far with these ones is okay. Maybe I missed an interaction with a previous card that makes it absolutely busted, but these ones look like good cards but not busted cards. So I'm giving it a 5.
Mm-hmm.
Versatility, similar thing though, because these cards are only operational when you have like the trigger cards, the 3 strikes, when you have count. It's not working with anything else in like a broader sense. Maybe there's some kind of tech cards that work with some of them. There are a lot of warrior cards right here. There have been some machines previously. But I don't see this splashing into other decks, and I don't see a lot of cards getting splashed in here outside of just the broadest support. So I think versatility is a 1.
All right.
Awesomeness, though, it's we have a link monster that we give to our opponent that then like activates kill switch cards in our deck. We have a giant boss monster, or we have a regular sized boss monster that gets stronger the more of its previous forms you fed into it, and when their buddy shows up to support them, they get even bigger and stronger. I don't know anything about this, but I was already feeling upset with the thought of Count exploding. So I think 5 in awesomeness. I love it. It's good stuff. I'm giving all these a 15 on the Nova scale. Fantastic job. How you
All
feeling? How
right.
you holding up on that?
Sounds good.
All right, wait. Take care. Have yourself a good one. Thank you again for supporting the channel, and I look forward to seeing what your next concoctions might be.
Indeed. I hope everyone has fun for the rest of the stream. Now I need to get back to homework.
Oh, yeah, that's important. Enjoy. Take care. What a wonderful lad. All right, let me see if I can get that voice line. We can try to hear that delivery.
All right, mass missile launch.
Oh no, that's got a Let's Player person. I need the audio track.
Heed my words. This boat has the means to end this hideous war in a definitive and elegant manner. We seek not a conflict, but rather a restoration of balance, a judgment. 1,000,000 lives are about to be snuffed out in senseless cruelty. The world shall be horrified by the number of lives we will take. Only then will they let go of their weapons. Weapons that would have taken the lives of 10 million.
Not gonna lie, that was I thought it was gonna be more over the top, to be honest. I'm gonna redub that later. I'm gonna put my full evil anime villain into it. In the final battle, you can scream. Oh, okay. So this wasn't it. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Can someone get me a link to this later? I need to know. I need to hear them going absolutely wild over this line. It sounds legendary. Okay, blah blah blah. Reset this. Let's go ahead and grab our list of people that we're going to talk to today. Next up is Borger, a Borger with a very powerful firearm bordering on destructive and heinous. Maybe even a shotgun. Hello!
Hello.
How are we doing today?
Oh, quite well. I'm hoping that the boarding school Wi-Fi doesn't fuck me over, but oh, sorry, bad word.
Hey,
But
whoa, hey,
yeah,
watch your fucking language, hey.
I'm going to do my fucking
Alrighty. So, I've got this pulled up here. I'm seeing negative black hole entry. What's going on with these busters?
Yeah, I would actually like you to do the third card. Um, but basically, this is an archetype that is sort of what if we made a way to tune Xyz monsters?
That is heinous.
Yes.
I can't wait to see how this shakes out. All right, well, I'll go ahead and get this started, and we'll begin with negative synchron.
Yes.
A rank 2 dark psychic tuner Xyz monster, 200 attack, 500 defense, requiring any 2 level 2 monsters as material. You can use this monster to synchro summon, and if you do, treat its rank as its level. Also, subtract this monster's rank from the level of the other monsters used as material for a synchro summon. So we're also adding the dark synchro summoning on this one, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Glad we cleared that up. Once per turn, you can detach 2 material from this card, target an Xyz monster you control. Special summon a Psychic Xyz monster from your extra deck, but the summoned monster must be 2 ranks higher. Transfers material, if any. Also attach this card to the summoned monster. This is treated as an Xyz summon.
So yeah, this is rank up magic on Lex. And also a way to make, I don't know, a level 1 synchro or to negative synchro climb. Synchro climb down.
Wow, yeah, this is very powerful.
Yeah.
Cause like yeah, if we got like a decently sized monster, we'll make a smaller synchro. It gets synced down, or we take any Xyz monster.
And put it into a strong psychic Xyz monster.
Okay, I just as you were saying that, I read the psychic Xyz part, and I'm like, okay, it's only psychic Xyz. Holy cow!
Yes.
I was about to go feral.
Yeah, if this was unrestricted, oh god.
Oh,
I mean, there are only 13 psychic Xyz monsters as far as I know, and of those, only. Yeah, not all of them. Some are level 2, a few are level 3.
like you could turn
What?
this into Redoer, but like that's about the most busted thing I can think you can do with it, and that's barely.
How about Shangri-La?
Say again.
Shangri-La.
Oh, that's a psych. I thought that was a
Kashtira
machine.
Shangri-La. That's the psychic.
Oh, well then, yeah. If you have a rank 5, you can turn it into a Shangri-La. But at that
Yes,
point, you're
but...
playing rank 5s in a deck with Shangri-La, so I think you have other deck
Yeah.
building concerns.
Yeah.
Now, a Rise Heart. No, a Rise Heart is a machine. I know that guy's a machine.
Alright, and the Diablosus, but well.
Yeah, folks. So glad that Diablosis is banned. Get it out of here. Alrighty. Black Hole Summoner. Rank 4 Dark Xyz monster. 2500 attack, 2300 defense, requiring any two level 4 monsters with different attributes and types. Or we can rank it up with negative synchron. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card. Special summon a tuner monster from your graveyard, but it cannot attack this turn. Also banish it during the end phase.
So yeah, this can either recur negative synchron, or it can get you any other tuner.
Any other one.
Which is a pretty much a very synchron effect, I think.
Yeah, getting your materials assembled for your synchro summoning is very much on brand for us. Alrighty, next is Black Hole Warrior.
Now there's a negative
Oh, now we're
black
gonna
hole.
Okay. Moving over to negative Black Hole Entry. Continuous spell card. Once per turn, you can special summon an Xyz Tuner monster or Synchro Tuner monster from your graveyard by banishing appropriate material from your deck or extra deck. And immediately after this effect resolves, attach all monsters banished by this card's effect to an Xyz monster with a rank equal to their levels. If you cannot, negate the summon and destroy all monsters you control.
So yeah, this is another extender piece which needs a bit of setup because there need to be the wild monsters on the field. And if any of them get destroyed, you also just destroyed your own board.
Yeah, so you got to be sure you're ready to use this when you activate it.
Yes.
Otherwise, big consequences.
Yes.
Banishing the appropriate material from your deck or extra deck. So
And then immediately they're being transformed into materials.
yeah, just immediately. It's like if the negative Synchron gets sent to the graveyard, or like it's there now, you play this, banish 2 level 2s, summon back the Synchron, and then you attach those 2 right there as material.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you can immediately tune up or tune down or Xyz tune up.
Or whatever. Now that we've broken the rules with Xyz tuner monsters, anything is possible.
Yes. This is fun.
Oh my god. I'm having fun. Okay. Black Hole Warrior, rank 8, Dark Psychic Xyz monster requiring 2+ level 8 monsters as material. Unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Once per turn as a quick effect, you can detach a material from this card. Negate one face-up card effect until the end of the turn. And once per turn during the end phase, you can attach a card from either player's field or graveyard that had its effect, or you can attach a card from either player's field or graveyard that has its effects negated to this card. And if you do, destroy one card your opponent controls. So, quick effect, negate, like your opponent has a threatening monster, negate it. It doesn't do its thing. And then if it's still on the field during the end phase, you scoop it up, so it's gone
if it
now.
not banished or used as if it's still on the field or in the graveyard.
Or on the graveyard, true.
You scoop it up. Yes.
And then you pop something on top of it.
Yes. And also, it doesn't have to be negated by its own effect.
Yeah, technically it can be anything. It just comes with the ability to do it itself. Okay.
Also, you may notice there isn't a level 6. And there also isn't a level 6, a rank 6 psychic in the game yet. So you need to somehow get there.
Foreshadowing is a literary device.
I haven't planned one yet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to lead up to that. I guess egg on my face. Yes. Anyway, Tarian, Black Hole Dragon, rank 10. Dark Psychic monster with 4,200 attack and 2,000 defense, requiring any level 3 level 10 monsters as material. Also unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Once per turn, you can detach 7 material from this card, and if you do, banish all cards your opponent controls. This monster can attack a number of times equal to the number of cards banished face up this turn.
So yeah, big tower, and if you basically used its predecessor, Black Hole Warrior, with at least 6 materials, I think. Yeah, you need 6 materials on it. 5 materials on it. You have boom. You just have death on the board.
Just get him out of here. We don't want to see him anymore.
Yep.
And then it'll just destroy your opponent because you've banished at least like 3 or 4 cards, and this thing is bigger than Obelisk, so.
But on the other hand, 7 materials can be quite hard, so it needs a little bit of setup.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you've gotten to that point, then I think you've earned having the free gigantic board wipe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. These are an outrageous series of cards, and I love every one of them. Is there any other design ideas that you had while making these that we want to cover before we wrap things up?
Well, at first pretty much wanted to make negative synchron kind of a counterpart to junk synchron, as in that there are many different like junk warrior, junk archer, junk berserker, and the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of hard to not just like copy the effects of them and stuff. So I first made this one, the Xyz part of it.
Well, I think it's a fantastic starting point.
What if you say did not use synchro, but Xyz? And somebody needed to teach him how to Xyz summon and Xyz type.
Oh man, what if we swapped Yusei and Yuma's stories?
God.
Astral, I'm starting to think that the systems of capitalism we've been born into are not the best way to handle all this. Yuma, be quiet. No one wants to hear your political ramblings. Haven't you seen a YouTube comment section? No one wants politics in Yu-Gi-Oh! Now shut up and be a bootlicker.
Also, here's Siberian emperors. And you say it's like, I will beat them up. Because Yusei does beat people up.
Yusei throws hands. He doesn't need a card game to mess people up. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go ahead and break out the Nova scale unless there's anything else we want to make sure that we cover.
Not so far.
Alrighty. So, novelty. I think that the second you introduced a Xyz tuner monster, we were already off the rails here. Now, as Captain Blitz pointed out previously, not letting me have the fun of the reveal, technically, there is a way to make Xyz tuner monsters in the game right now. If anyone is familiar with the continuous trap card Psychic Tuning, it's like Call of the Haunted, but it makes the monster a tuner. It was made before Xyz existed, so it doesn't specify monster with a level. That being said, it being a tuner doesn't mean anything outside of cards that just check for tuners.
Because you cannot, because there's no support, there's no rule support how to treat ranks.
Exactly.
For synchro summoning.
So
it has rule support for treating its rank as levels.
So I think this is a hilarious, fun concept to start with. And then we're adding on like rank ups on top of it. So it's not like it's the antithesis to Xyz summoning. It wants you to just synchro as well, which I think is dope. Our other cards are very powerful. They do feel in line with a lot of stuff that already exists, but honestly, I'm giving it a 5 just for the Xyz tuner. Like, that's awesome. Objectivity. Our problem-solving card text is interesting here because we do have to create from scratch the means by which we use Xyz monsters as synchro material. But I think this is pretty in line with what we see already. So I think our problem-solving card text is fine. I'm not necessarily worried about Black Hole Summoner or Tarian, because, as we mentioned, it takes a whole bunch to get the material under this necessary to get the effect to go off, and Black Hole Summoner just, like, gets you a card back. Negative Black Hole Entry is
busted.
This one's actually kind of cool. Like, I like this. Like, it just revives from the graveyard by using material from your deck, and that means you have to already have gotten the monster out, so you've already done the hard work. So I'm actually a huge fan of negative Black Hole Entry. That's cool. What I worry about is Black Hole Warrior. Not every deck is running this, but it is a rank 8. Like every rank 8 deck is going to run this. Because it's the towers, quick effect negate, bigger than 3k, absorbs what you negate, Like, this card is seeing play in all of them. That being said, rank 8 decks are not exactly pushing the boundaries in the game right now. Maybe this gives all of those Gren Maju rank 8 beatdown decks, or Blue Eyes decks, or Galaxy Eyes decks the tool they need to compete. And in an unprepared meta, this just walks away with it. But we do have plenty of ways to walk over a gigantic monster. I suppose you would need to have multiple ways, unless your monster is
I
immune
mean,
to...
yeah, and if you're talking about gigantic monsters, this is just 3,200. In
Yes.
the realms of gigantic monsters, this is puny.
Yeah, we have never had better access to monsters that can beat up towers than now. So there's ways to get over this. So I don't think it's going to run the format. It makes me worried, but I think there's enough to make it a 5 in objectivity. I think these cards are fine. I think they're just cool.
Yeah.
Versatility, like I said, this is going to see play in any rank 8 deck that can make them. No reason not to. Negative black hole entry. I mean, any deck that's already running negative synchron is going to run this for the opportunity to reborn that little goober. I feel like every rank, like level 2 deck is going to make this. Like, if you
Yeah,
put this in
probably.
sprites, you're going to do this. And then, like, maybe you rank it up into Redoer or something. Just, like, to gain access to it. Or sync with it if you want. You know, if there's a synchro that works with you, go nuts.
Yeah, and
Black-
also, yeah, okay, I have a level 8, and oh, there are good level 6 synchros for me, and I can make this. Oh, I now have a level 6 synchro on my field. Huh.
Ooh. So I do think that across these there is like a bit of splashover with a bunch of other decks. Not a huge amount, but there are some decks that are going to want to have this in. So I'm down for a 2 in versatility. I think these cards are
Yeah.
spiffy and people are going to want to play them. And awesomeness, look, you made the Xyz Tuner monster. This is so funny. I love it. It's so good. Also, these other cards are cool, and having a monster that, like, has a board wipe effect that meaningfully takes effort to make work is just cool. I think it's awesome. It's getting a 5. I'm giving your negative cards a 17 on the Nova scale. These are so good.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining in on this. Thank you for showing these off. I can't wait to see the next batch.
No problem. Yep, see you.
See ya. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Link Pendulum when never. We have not. I think now would be a good time to take a bit of a break. And we'll take a look at that. Get out of the room. Want to know something even cooler? For a time, it was possible to have a legal Xyz tuner and a Link tuner. Well, when you say legal Xyz tuner, are we talking about the psychic tuning thing? Because that we've already gone over. Now, Link tuner, that I'm lost on. I have no clue what that's about. Okay, let me grab the request. We had a couple of them. I'm gonna go ahead and get those knocked out. Whoa, requests. Whoa. Whoa. Dun 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 dun. Okay. 1,000 channel points from Beelzebub, Trihorn Dragon. Hey, when will I get to be able to fist bump Ravioli? Whenever you have hands. Okay. How about now? You need... You can fist bump him whenever you want. Yeah! Okay, bye! What a good guy. What a good dude. Okay. How would you even fit the link arrows and the pendulum text on the same card, I wonder? And that's a problem for the designers to figure out. I tribute 3 noodles to special summon Ravioli, Lord of Phantasms. Saying time-stamped link and DM to the line delivery. All right, let's get this really quickly. Let's hear what they got to say. All right. Okay, there we go. I heard a little maniacal laughter in there. It's a shame that it got drowned out by all the combat stuff going on, though. It's the very end of the video. Oh yeah. It went through, but there was a lot of like other audio going on there, which is unfortunate. But I could kind of hear the megalomania going on there. Interesting title. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Shauna Hart. They were going on a gifting spree a couple of streams ago. Just a second. All right. And again, I'm watching this one on the train back home from work. Hey, awesome. I love being someone's little watch along, waiting to go from point A to point B. I'm so shocked I'm apparently one that had the longest substreet. Like, really, this community is so big. I have complicated feelings. I don't know how I can word them right now, but I do appreciate all the help that you've done. That's not anything I'm complicated about. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's well, Buelsifer now wants more fist bumps for everyone. So first up, I'm gonna go ahead and get a little shimmering scraper action to get us through the stream. All right, there's the shadowy energy, and now this one's for all of you folks at home. Raise your fist to the screen. Raviel is gifting you with the power of the shimmering scraper. There you go. Now all you have the fiendish power within you as well. Alrighty. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, King Rex wants to get another fist bump. 1 second. Alright, I can do this. Ooh, that's a lot. Ravioli shimmering sauce. Come on. That's good. Okay, how to have Xyz tuner or link tuner. It's quite simple. It's available even now. It was easier in 2019, though. All you need to do is equip Torque Tune Gear. It doesn't do anything for Synchro Summon since there's no levels, but it was a flex. It was easy to do with Union Carrier Legal. That's true. It just gives the tuner status. Hilarious. Incredible. Okay. I've done enough goofing around, but we have some fantastic cards to cover here. Let's go see if our next person is ready in the voiced chat. and we can cover these fantabulous cards. It's Moki time. I think I might at them just in case. I don't think I've seen them in chat so far. Oh, right. They said they didn't want to do it today. I forgot. They wanted to move it to Saturday. I totally forgot that. We're actually not covering these today. We're actually covering these early in the morning tomorrow. So this is your preview for tomorrow's stream. Drink it all in. Absorb. Yep. These don't use very manly. Hey, every Moki is manly. Shoutouts to our good lost companion, Yu-Gi-Oh! For Real Men. God, that was a channel. That was one of my early favorites. Okay, so has everyone enjoyed their time with Moki Moki? We good? All right. We're done. We're finished. That's it. We're gonna work with them tomorrow. For now, it's time for Zara. Zara, if you are in chat, we are ready to cover just some incredible looking cards.
Hello.
Hello! How's it going?
I'm doing good.
All right.
How are you? Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year. I'm stoked to see these. I opened this up and I saw Gunkan Sushi Tempura Torpedo and I lost my darn mind. So I take it you're a sushi liker.
I made two ships on Master Duel.
Well, hey, and if you were willing to spend your dust on cards like that, then you must love them.
They're very good. They're surprisingly good. I on the regular just beat up Elbas with two ships, and they just can't do anything about it. So funny.
Yeah, two ships take names. All right, like what? Every Xyz monster is a cantrip because you draw for free.
Yeah.
The bonus effects are ridiculous. Like the Uni is like a monster negate on your main phase, their battle phase.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like one monster negate per XC2 ship you have, so you can have up to 6 negates on it.
So you can go bonkers,
and it's permanent. It's not until the end of the turn. It's permanent.
Yeah, it's just gone. They are blanked out. People forget about that one, and then once Red Shari showed up, so much more consistent. Holy cow! Anyway,
so yeah, I created 3 cards just because I had ideas for it. I think the last one we talk about is a trap card because I think it's probably a little bit too strong. But the other 2 I think are very funny. You see in the background.
I just saw the art. Yeah.
I just love the art. The design is so good.
Okay. I'm sorry. Keep talking.
Yeah. So yeah, it's so one of the most used things that you do is just turn one of them into Zeus, and this is it's kind of into a meme. So many sushi players see Zeus as a sushi card, so I kind of went with that.
That's awesome. All right, well, I'll go and get the timer started. Acetone, How's it going? How you doing today? It's time to cover some sushi custom cards with the first one we want to do is Yard.
Yeah, it's a repair yard.
Gunkan Sushi Kiabiya Repair Yard. A Link 1 Fire Aqua monster with 1200 attack, requiring any non-Link Gunkan Sushi monster as material. Once per turn, you can target an Xyz monster this card points to and add 1 card attached to that card to your hand. And if you do, you can attach a Gunkan Sushi card from your hand, deck, or grave to that monster as material. Ooh, okay.
Yes. So Suships, they're very particular about what cards you use to build them. And you can literally repair them with this card, and you can recycle recycle cards that you used for the Xyz summon. Important to know though is that it's any Xyz. It's not Gunkan Xyz, so you can also use that with non-archetype cards as well.
Okay, all right.
But you
like
need the Gunkan to link it first.
Yeah, you got to do that first.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I did it. That's actually really cool. I know that one of the big issues is it's gotten better now as we've gotten more legacy support, but you need to have Suship Shari, the big normal monster, to activate a lot of our effects. So being able to scoop that up, because for those of you in the audience who don't know, the gun cans care about what material they're made of, but they don't need to have those material under them perpetually. And the problem is that I don't think any of them detach material for their effects, right? So they're just stuck there.
Yeah, they don't do anything. They're just like they create the original they create the original abilities, but afterwards they're just stuck there. The Suships don't use their material, which is kind of a shame. But that's why I kind of created those cards, because as you will see, also the Xyz monster, not the Xyz monster, the Link monster. If you see, it attaches a Gunkan Suship card, not a monster.
Yeah, so I have a feeling that this next one is gonna be illuminating on why that is. Gunkan Suship Tempura Torpedo.
Yes. Just as like a little forward, I'm a freaking nerd, and I'm not sure if the game Azulane says something to you.
Oh, I love Zoids. I only
Zoids?
know Oh, did you say Zoids or something else?
I said Azulane.
Oh, fucking I'm so lame. I'm so okay. I know of Azure Lane. I don't play it, but I know of it.
Yes, I play it too much, and I had to hold myself back to not add any anime girls into this. But tempura torpedoes are just like a thing in there, so I just I thought it fits so well to the Suships, so I was like, okay, I can get those in there.
No, folk, you don't understand. You really just set sail on the new Nova merch. We will make Gunkan Suship alternate tokens, and we'll Azure Lane all the boats.
Yes,
we'll make them all cute anime.
Oh god, oh god, I have to commission that. I will do that.
Do it. Yeah, there we go. Boom.
Yeah, that's gonna be hilarious.
All right, so Gunkan Suship Tempura Torpedo. Quick play spell card. If you control a Gunkan Suship Xyz monster, Pot of Cringe, thank you so much for following here. Excellent name. I enjoy the cringe.
Pot of Cringe.
That's so good. If you control a Gunkan Suship Xyz monster, target a card your opponent controls, destroy it, then immediately after this effect resolves, attach this card to a Gunkan Suship Xyz monster that you control. An Xyz monster that has this as material gains this effect. If this card battles a monster before damage calculation, detach Gunkan Suship Tempura Torpedo to banish that monster.
Yes.
So, the first activation is the first salvo. Pop the card, load it back into the chamber, and then when you fight, second salvo.
Yes, exactly.
And as you were saying, with the repair yard, you can just load it up.
Yeah, so you can take Shari Red back into your hand and then just pull that card out of your deck into the Suship and use it as material, and use Shari Red again, because most of your spell cards need Shari Red in your hand when they trigger.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, well, no, that's a great little addition to the deck. Hard removal that doesn't require you to have any kind of, I guess having an Xyz monster is a bit of a setup, but if you're not making Xyz monsters in this deck, then you've already lost.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty nifty, and it's supremely searchable. I dig.
So there's one thing that I kind of thought of, which is very important, specifically with those two cards. Any Xyz deck that uses rank 4 Xyz can run one of the vanilla Xyz for a Suship, either rank 4 or rank 5, and run the repair yard. So you can use two monsters, go into one of the Xyz monsters, then use the repair yard to recur one of the materials in your other Xyz monsters. So you can use that as an engine in anything that uses Xyz monsters if you have like 2 slots free in your extra deck. Or you can add a torpedo as well, because the destruction effect is not specific to Gunkin ships. Only like the first effect is attaches it to a Gunkin, but if you attach it via the repair yard, you can attach it to any Xyz.
Now all I'm imagining is like Dante just has like a big tempura bazooka
Yes.
ready to fire. I got this from a good friend of mine over in the Sioux Shipyards. Open wide, buddy. That's awesome. Alrighty, last one. Just, folks, take a minute to drink in this artwork. Holy cow.
It's so good.
Zidai knocked it out of the park on this one. Okay. Guncan Sioux Ship Legacy. Counter trap card. When a card or effect is activated that targets a Guncan Sioux Ship Xyz monster you control on the field, special summon an Xyz monster from your extra deck by using that Xyz monster you control as material, but its effects are negated until the end of the turn. This is treated as an Xyz summon, transfers materials to the summoned monster.
Yes.
I know you said this is broken.
Like the original effect was without a negate, but like I just wanted to like prevent the Etherthought situation, because I'm not quite sure if there are any like Xyz monsters just like wreck shit when you can do that at any point. So I'm not sure if the negate should be there or not, but like you can pretty much like go into any Xyz monster that you have in your extra deck.
I think it's good to, if you're letting us get any Xyz monster off of it, I think it's a good idea to negate it just to get rid of any weird corner cases. There is one I'm looking up just to see if it would be applicable or if I'm unaware. Ah, excellent. Yes, it is a good thing that you negated it because DDD Duo Dawn King Kali Yuga would be... Yeah, that would have been a valid target, and that effect that locks your opponent out of activating cards does not activate. It is a condition applied after a proper Xyz summon, so thank God its effects are negated.
Yes, until the end of the turn, so...
Yeah, so you can use all of your stuff after it survived the turn, and I think at that point, you know, have fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
the idea was like Sioux ships, like they have like that negate from the Uni class, but the problem is that it only works during your main phase and your opponent's battle phase, which like most of the time, if you don't have the Shirao cruiser out, which is the aircraft carrier, which makes all your Sioux ships immune to card effects, as long as a field spell is on the field. You're very screwed during your opponent's main phase. So, like, you can use the Xiao class to search the trap card, which makes your opponent aware that it's there. So, like, it's their own fault if they run into it.
Hey, you knew we were out here. What do you think was going to happen?
Yeah. So I wanted to make it, like, relatively strong. But like also like if like the Sioux ship that is targeted is like like you just like turn it into another one, so like the target like fizzles. So I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to give that like counter trap like some additional effect as well, but I wasn't quite sure. Like maybe like some recurring for the Sioux ships in general, because like they need that a lot. But I wasn't quite sure if that is like a thing that I should go with or not.
I think it would be like I think it would be reasonable to have like Xyz summon a monster using this card as Xyz material, but negate its effects until the end of this turn unless the summoned monster was a Guncan Sioux ship. That way, if you stay on theme, you're not being punished for going into any of your Guncans. Well, not being punished. Your benefit is getting to keep your Guncan Sioux ship effects.
Yeah, but like if you look at the I think it's the shipyard. If one of your Sioux ships is destroyed, you get a new one if you have a Shari in your hand. So like they already do that. Like if you blow them up, you can replace them.
Ah, okay.
So I don't really want to double up on that because, like, if you have a Shari in your hand and they blow up one of your Xyz monsters, you can just like special summon the Shari and just like create it again.
Okay, all right.
Because it just like does that, so you don't like waste anything. But I just kind of and the thing is, like, if you do that via the yard, you only have the Shari red as material, so you can use the repair yard to add the other material for the abilities if they need it. But yeah, that was like the main idea. So you can use like one or two of the cards that are created as like an engine in anything that uses rank 4 or 5 Xyz. Also, as you maybe see in the side deck, I have Verte and the Anime Woman, Promethean Princess. Those two are like standards in my deck in Master Duel, because of course Verte is not banned there. And like it's very I play what's it called, DPE in my two ships, because like it's just very good and it helps me to survive for like a little bit longer, because if my opponent has like a good setup, there's no way that the two ships will survive, and like that thing saved my ass so many times. So the idea was usually you use like, for if you have the normal monster out, you go into Link Spider and don't then go into Vertanaconda. So you can then summon it. But like with this, you can go into the repair yard first and use that as an additional ability instead of using the Link Spider, which is just like a general thing. So it would just like replace the Link Spider in the normal, like in the normal extra deck that the two ships have. So you don't like have to use an additional space for them, because they just replace something that you already had.
Yeah, now you get to turn that play into an actual bit of utility that helps you, instead of solely being there as an enabler to go into stuff like Verte.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty sick idea. Also, more Promethean Princess, because why not?
Yeah, so Promethean Princess is very fun. I also like Embla Whale, I think is the rank 4. So I use those two in like my Sue ships, and you just like recur them infinitely, because those two can just like bounce into each other, which is very stupid.
Wait, Ambler Whale doesn't trigger if it's Link summoned, it's just anytime it's blown up?
If it's blown up, it gets it resummons a rank 3 Xyz or lower, I think. Like not Xyz, Link 3 Link monster from the graveyard.
If this card is destroyed, oh my god.
So you get Promethean Princess and can use her ability to get Embla Whale back. So you can just like get both of them.
I thought it only worked if it was destroyed while Link summoned.
Nope.
Oh! Oh! It's good stuff.
And also, just like Promethean Princess is just in general good for two ships, because all of them are fire monsters, so you can just like get all of the stuff back.
Yeah.
Like it's extra recursion for the deck.
You don't even have to worry about its restriction. It's all fire anyway.
Yes. The only thing is like it kind of like locks me out of some options like DPE, right? Because
like this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it just like depends on what your situation is. You can just like choose which path you go down. So the flexibility ain't bad.
Yeah. Also, there's what's it called? The rank, the Link 4 that like just deletes everything.
Excitonite?
No, that the Link 4 that just like that 4. You can't react to.
Oh, access code talker.
Yeah, access code. Yeah. It's also like very easy to like go into with like that setup. And like they're very good for two ships, but just also very silly.
Very silly.
Yes.
All right.
I hope you liked my ship ideas.
I think they're fantastic. I love these cards. And I love Suship. It's like a really goofy deck that can put in results if you know what you're doing. It's one of the most quintessential Yu-Gi-Oh decks out there, insofar as what I feel like is the spirit of the game.
Yeah, it's like I like the main decks that I play are this one and Bee Troopers
Yeah,
and
Beach Troopers is a
Harpies.
fun one. Harpies is
Harpies.
cool.
Yeah, so these three are the main ones that I played, and previously I played Rose Dragons, which was like my first one. But they completely bit the dust because of the entire Heike Fibrex ban thing. So like after that you couldn't use them at all anymore, so I just dropped it.
God, Halka Fibrax is one of the most painful bans we've ever had to do.
Yeah, it's very like it saves so many decks, but like those that can abuse it too much.
So much.
And it still upsets me.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Thank you again so much. Let's go and get that Nova scale, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So, novelty. Now, we're already starting with the established deck, so does this do anything to pivot the deck at all? Does it do anything unique? And, honestly, I think the idea of swapping out our material is something that the deck has been needing for a while. It sucks that your deck self-limits itself because you need to have Shari constantly, but anytime you make an extra deck monster, anytime you commit to one, you're locking one out until it goes away. Having an on-theme way to swap that out for a different card, especially the one that you've already provided, is a much-needed breath of fresh air. So
yeah, also, what you can also do is you can use the Xyz monsters if they already were destroyed on the graveyard as material. Just like if you have like if you have an Gunkan Xyz that was destroyed, you can use that one as material instead as well, so you don't like waste anything of your main deck as well.
That makes sense. That makes sense. It is a repair yard. Alrighty, so that's gonna be I'm gonna say a 3 in novelty. I think it's a pretty good new direction for the deck to have. Objectivity. We were close to turning this into a 1 off of Gunkan Suship Legacy, but thankfully the effects are negated, which I think is more than reasonable. You can summon whatever big thing you want, but it has to stick around for a turn before you can actually use it. I think Tempura Torpedo is a much needed piece of removal that can be splashed out with other Xyz decks, but it does take a lot of work to if you're playing it in a non-Suship deck, you do have to go into the extra deck, and then you have to be playing Tempura Torpedo. So
you have to run both the repair yard and one of the general Xyz to even like get into the repair yard in the first place. So you have like 3 cards if you want to use them, like one in the main deck and 2 in the extra deck.
Yeah, so you have to commit a whole bunch to use this. You can't just slap this into any Xyz deck and get like a free +3 or something. So I actually think it's fairly balanced. I'm going to give it a 5. It's all good.
Nice.
It's all gravy. Versatility, like we said, can be used in certain decks. It's certainly not being used in anything that's not already using Xyz monsters, and even in that, it's a bit of a slim margin. So
I'm not sure if it's like good because like I haven't played them in forever, but aren't they like very playable then in Raid Raptors? I'm not sure if they have like rank 4s.
They do. A lot of their good cards are now locking them into darks.
Bad. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say in that realm, I'd say it's about a 2 in versatility. It's not nothing. Yeah. These cards can be played in other Xyz decks, but insofar as the broader scope, it's just a little bit of versatility.
Yeah.
And awesomeness. I'm sorry, folks. It's peak. It's just peak. I've got to give it a 5.
It's boats.
Sous ships. It's giant food boats, and they shoot tempura missiles, and they have an airstrip full of whatever the heck these things are. I always forget their name. It's like some kind of.
I think the glass noodles, but I'm not quite sure.
There's that. This is urchin meat being used to subdue your opponent. You have a whole shipyard.
Have you ever seen the picture of that like very, very, very dedicated sushi player?
Yes, the guy who goes to the events and they have the wooden like serving tray as their playmat.
Yeah.
It's folks, it's so peak. It's so good. I have to give it a 5. This is getting a 15 out of 20 on the Nova scale. Excellent work here. I love them.
Nice. Happy to hear that. I wanted to show them yesterday, but it was like when I messaged you that it's getting too late. It was like 12:30.
Yeah, no. At that point, sous ships are a delicacy that's worth staying up late for. Not that late.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got some rest. and I'm glad we were able to get you in here today because these rock. Thank you again
Nice.
for showing these and for your support, and I will catch you next time, all right?
Yeah, so I will think about it. I'm not quite sure because I haven't created them yet, but probably next time is gonna be, like I said previously, gonna be more Phantom Thieves. But I cannot promise that yet. If I have the time, then I will do them. Otherwise, maybe.
Hey, however you gotta do, you do, okay?
Yeah.
All right, thumbs up. Take care. Have a good one, okay?
Yep. Have a good night as well, or day, or whatever it is for you.
I'm just vibing. You know, out
Yeah.
here in space, time it's relative, baby.
Yes, that's relative.
All right, take care. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye. I'm on the schedule for tonight, right? Oh, you know what? When did you sign in? Because I don't think I checked it today. Let me take a look. See here. Yesterday. Oops. Well, I didn't have you on the schedule, but we got time. And you're signed up there. I can get you in there. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we have 2 people. We have 2 people that got to show up and talk about stuff today. We also have Marluxia in here. Let's go ahead and get the schedule updated here. Let's get Lemon's cards pulled in here, and we'll get Lemon over here. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-bum, ba-ba-da-ba-da-bum. How did you send me the cards? Did you send it over Patreon or don't see it on Discord? I know I'm on the schedule. Nova, not sure if you noticed, but when you started the sushi review, it did the... Yeah, no, I saw it. It's an interesting thing, right? Because I bring people on and I want them to talk and people say things in chat and I want to respond to them, but I also don't want to take up, like, my guest's time. That'd be rude. But I keep an eye on it. But that was very funny. Folks, if you want delicious Japanese snacks sent right to your door, go play Sushi, but also follow my link and get some boxes there. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get that pulled up here. Bada bing, bada boom. And let's get him the roll so we can show it. So we can show him off. Da ba da da. Yabba dabba dee. Yabba dabba doo. Bop, 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 bop. Bam! Special guest. Hello! Oh, too much?
I heard it twice.
Oh no!
Okay,
You know,
before we start the timer, the last person, the conversation you had, it gave me a spark of brain, of like just brain rot. So go to the second extra deck card. This is not even in the set of cards I did.
Yeah!
I had the thought of naming it Commander and Chef, and I went, yeah, I gotta make this now.
Perfect. And yeah, no, anime girl. There we go. Good job being on top of that. And by on top of it, I mean before I even said it.
I just like panicked for that.
Get out of my head! Get out of my head!
I
All right. So, we've got Dragon Spies today. So, these are going to be an extension of our ongoing insect war lore, I presume.
Yeah. Here, let me take one of these cards out. That's later.
Oh, he's angry.
I'm just realizing. I did not write a lore write-up for this one. Didn't have that much brain rot, honestly.
Not today.
But this is the 4th and final main archetype for them. And fitting the theme of Beetrooper being warriors, Crusader being mages, and Armoroli being the tank. This is the rogue of the 4.
Always darting in and out of combat.
In a sense.
I also like that they are flip spirit monsters. That's very
Uh-huh. I had to think a long time about what to do with Spirit, because I knew I wanted Light Flapper to be the Spirit deck for some reason, and then I went, and I just had to think, like, you can't just do Spirit Rituals. That's already been done. Spirit Pendulum's been done. Is there just a mechanic? And I went, wait, these fuckers say when they're flip face up.
Huh?
All Spirit monsters say if this card is flip face up.
Yeah.
So we've
So there we
solved
go.
that.
Excellent. Them and what is it? Prediction Princess Tarot Wraith will have a lot of fun. Alrighty. Let's it looks like Swamplands is at the start of the list. Let's go ahead and find that. Alrighty. Oh, and starting the timer would be a good thing for me to do. Alrighty. Dragon Spy Swampland is a field spell card. Once per turn, you can choose a card in your opponent's hand and reveal it, and if you do, add a Dragon Spy card of that type from your deck to your hand. You can set any number of monsters during your turn instead of just one. When a card is set or flipped face down on your field, both players can shuffle the order of all face down cards on their field. You can only activate one copy of this card per turn. Huh. So we just get to dump them all out of our hand, so we don't have to worry about being smart.
Yeah.
We just get all out there, and then
They can't even special themselves. So yeah, and at any point, if any of your cards are set, you can hide them.
Just play a shell game.
Magical hats.
That's great. I love that. Alrighty, next is Dragon Spy Flapper. This is our import card, or rather, this is what we would import into B Troopers.
Yeah.
A level 6 Water Dragon Flip Spirit monster with 2,000 attack, 2,200 defense. Flip effect. Add a Dragon Flip monster from your deck to your hand. For everyone who hasn't been able to see this, these are all dragon monsters, because they're Dragon Spies, obviously.
Yep.
Add a Dragon Flip monster from your deck to your hand. For the rest of the turn, this if this card is tributed...
But
for this
hello? You went silent for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, because it's for the rest of the turn, this card is tributed. So it's like, if this card is tributed?
Yeah.
Okay, if this card is tributed...
If this card is tributed after a flip face up, you add it back to the hand.
Yeah, add back to the hand. Cannot be special summoned, as you do. During the main phase, if this card was normal summoned or flipped face up, quick effect, return this card to the hand, then you can add up to 2 Dragon Spy cards that are banished and or in your grave to your hand. So it doesn't mandatory go back, but you want it to go back.
No,
it's only gonna work on
yeah.
that turn.
These are all of the cards are gonna fit that mechanic for the most part.
But not this guy. Or yes, this guy. I might have misunderstood.
Yeah, they all have 2 effects. They have the flip effect, and then they have effect to return themselves to the hand to do a thing.
Okay. But it's not mandatory like most spirits, so that's the big takeaway from that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next is Dragon Spy Darn. Ah, darn. Why'd I have to draw this card? Level 2 Dragon Flip Spirit Monster, 50 attack, 750 defense. When flipped, you special summon a Dragon Spirit or Dragon Flip monster from your deck, ignoring summoning conditions, but negate its effects for the rest of the turn. For the rest of the turn, if this card is tributed, add this card to the hand. Cannot be special summoned. During the main phase, if this card was normal summoned or flipped face up this turn as a quick effect, you can return this card to the hand, then declare one card name, except the name of a card your opponent added to their hand by a card effect this turn. Your opponent must banish face down all cards with that name from their hand. So, you specifically have to use your scouting effects.
Yeah.
To get that figured out.
Or you just have to guess.
Or just guess, you know.
I guess the Mist Valley Field Spell. Mist Valley Field Spell says wind.
Uh-oh. Looks like someone didn't watch Mist Valley Explained. Uh-oh. Okay, so why is it called Darn?
They're all named after types of species of dragonfly. Darner is a actual type.
Okay. I'm so happy.
Yep. I'm quite happy with that one.
Oh, darn. Alright, Dragon Spy Dash. Level 3. Water Dragon Flip Spirit Monster with 1400 attack and 200 defense. Flip effect. Activate a Dragon Spy trap from your deck or graveyard. If this card is distributed after this effect is activated, add this card to your hand. Cannot be special summoned, and during the main phase, if this card was normal summoned or flipped face up this turn, return this card to the hand, then target a spell or trap card in your opponent's graveyard and set that card to your field. Wow, that is a lot of stealing.
Yep. I mean, what else are spies for?
No, you know what? You got me. So, I guess we'll have to check out the trap cards, too, to see just how much value you get out of Dash.
Yeah. Real quick, press F5. I just click F5 real quick. Just reload the page. I realized that I missed something, and now I have fixed it. And now you will never know what it was.
Trying to sneak it in there, huh?
I missed it once per
Unfortunately, I
turn.
take screenshots of everything when I show up on a page, so
Tragic.
good luck, buddy. No, I don't know technology that much. Anyway, which trap card would be good to start with?
The second one probably espionage.
Espionage. Continuous trap card. When this card is activated, declare a card name. If this card is if that card is in your opponent's hand, it cannot be activated from the hand during your next turn. Normal summoned Dragon Spy monsters cannot be targeted by card effects. During the main phase, you can target one face down monster you control, flip it face up, then set this card.
This is your interruption creator, where a lot of them have interruptions. Oh, two of them have interruptions with Club and Spike. And this is how you flip the face up on a quick effect.
Okay, all right.
Also,
Now-
note that the when this card activated effect does not apply when you activate it with a card effect. So Dash and then Discovery do not do that. I had to check that. It's not a big deal.
Oh, so if you put it onto the field with Dash, you're not getting the hand lock effect?
Yep.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But you get to use this to call two hand traps, and then like they can't use those. As an example.
True, we will eventually get to use it because of how it recycles itself, so at least it gets in rotation. Alrighty. That's about all the list that was on here. Where's a good place to keep going? How should we go the rest
I
of this thing?
think we'll go with Skimmer, because he's kind of lore important.
Skimmer. Alright, level 4 Water Dragon Flip Spirit Monster with 1300 attack and 1400 defense. Flip. A flip monster that flips a coin. Do we actually have a card that does that?
I don't know.
That sounds like something they should have done a long time ago. Alright, flip a coin. If heads, look at your opponent's hand. If tails, look at your opponent's set cards. If no cards are
can't see
revealed by this
any.
effect, draw 2 cards.
Hold on. My dog is going to pause the timer. Apparently.
What's going on?
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Ah, little pets are being goobers.
Sorry about that.
Nah, all good.
My dog came in. I think she's trying to give her a bath or something. All right.
Okay, so
Are we?
flip it. We get to check one of those depending on what the result is. If no cards are revealed, draw 2 cards. After this effect is activated, boom, 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 boom. If this card is distributed, add this card to your hand. Cannot be special summoned, and during the main phase, if this card was normal summoned or flipped face up this turn as a quick effect, you can return this card to the hand, then look at your opponent's extra deck. Alright, so lore-wise, what's Skimmer's business?
So the deal is that the Curse Shatter who've like started to be suspicious of the B Trooper are finding the Dragon Spy. They discover them and they end up hiring them to figure out who the leader of the B Trooper was. Because the B Trooper, like I said in one of the chapters, have insisted that they're like a hive mind, but they don't believe that, and that's where they find out where the card on the extra deck is actually the leader. There is a commander of the B Trooper. They were hiding him.
Those lying sacks of dung.
Which starts the downfall of us too.
Well, shoot. The political intrigue continues.
Next,
yeah, go ahead.
I think Spike is good for next.
Spike. Level 7 Water Dragon Flip Spirit monster with 3,000 attack and 1,700 defense. Flip effect, shuffle into the deck 1 card your opponent controls and 1 card in their graveyard. Then if you control Dragon Spy swamp lands, you can flip any number of your monsters face down. Can't be special summoned, and during the main phase, if this card was normal summoned or flipped face up this turn as a quick effect, return this card to the hand, then you can flip 1 face down monster you control face up.
I think this is the main interrupter of the deck. You want this and a couple of other cards in your quote-unquote end board. This deck is not like a combo deck like the others. It is a very reactive play style.
Yeah, we want to get all of our little pieces set up on the board and then let our opponent fall into all of our interaction. And so I guess the general idea would be to try and get the smaller ones set, get them flipped up, and then you would tribute set, because I feel like that would be included in Swamplands. You can set as many times per turn as you want.
Yes, yeah, there's no reason you can't tribute set with the set.
No, yeah.
Flip those up. The whole archetypes, whole tribute thing is based on, I think the inspiration came from Inscription, where there are certain cards where if you tribute over them, you play over them, you get it back in your hand, you get another copy. So that was a big inspiration for why they do that.
Well, hell yeah. And as someone who likes to make sure that their tribute summons don't make them go minus 1,000,000%, it's pretty good.
Yeah, especially for a tribute summon deck. Like, I think if it's a tribute set deck is allowed to cheat a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We're already on the back foot considering our monsters are going face down and need help to get flipped up in a timely manner. We might as well just cheat a little bit as a treat.
For fun. Let's do the ritual. The big guy.
All right. Dragon Spy Mega Neura. A level, was that 9 or 10?
10.
10. Level 10 Dragon Flip Spirit Ritual Effect monster. 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense. Flip effect, take control of all face-down monsters on the field. Also give control of all other face-up monsters on the field to your opponent. If this card is ritual summoned, you can target monsters on the field equal to the number of set cards on the field. Flip them face down. If your opponent activates a card or effect, you can return 1 face-down monster you control to the hand, and if you do, negate the activation. You can only use the effect once per turn, and during the end phase, flip this card face down. Which would bypass any spirit text if it had it anyway.
Yeah, it's just a replacement for what the spirit text says. Because the other flip spirit or ritual spirits do return to the hand, but I just thought it's more interesting to have him not do that.
Yeah, and instead of just saying something like, instead of bouncing to the hand, it does some other kind of effect. It's an effect that would specifically turn off the bouncing self-bounce if it had it. So I think that's a cool,
yeah.
Omitting it by replacement, but in a good way. So I think that's
I think brute force is a good next one.
There we go. Oh, he's so angry. All right, Dragon Spy Brute Force continuous trap card. When this card is activated, flip 1 monster on the field face down. If a Dragon Spy or any number of them you control are attributed, you can add those monsters to the hand, then set this card. Once per turn, you can ritual summon a Dragon Spy ritual monster by using material in your hand or field as material. So this like lets you turn the clock up, right? Like you can tribute your
Yeah.
face down ones now, and they can still go back to your hand.
Yeah. It lets you. Yeah, you got it. What else is worth going into? I guess we can finish with the Link one. Since we got a minute.
All right, leading B Trooper Ostro. Link 1, light insect monster, 1000 attack, requiring a level 4 or lower insect monster as material. If this card is Link summoned, you can add a B Trooper spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, but if this card is not co-linked, you can only add B Trooper formation with this effect. Okay. If this card is in your graveyard as a quick effect, you can banish this card, then target one monster on the field. Its attack becomes 3000. You can Link summon this card once per turn. Okay, so you need to make sure you have like what Armor Horn or Hercules on board.
Yeah. This you have the ability to turn any one monster into this, but you can't search anything besides the Graveyard Revive, which does give B Trooper like a 1-card Armor Horn. Because it is a Link one that searches the field spell.
Oh, bat!
Which
oh!
But the commander would give formations, surely.
Surely they're not incompetent. If they've been hiding this long, they got to know something. But no, yeah, pretty solid, and it helps with like the whole insect pile in general.
Yeah, it also helps with B Troopers have a lot of effects to say if you have an insect monster 3000 attack. This one means that you don't have to actually bring out the big guys to do that. You can just do this and then get the good effects, and then you can use those good effects to bring out the big guys.
Yeah, very solid.
And it's an honest.
Can we print this right now?
I wish.
All right, let's.
Konami should hire me.
Yeah, come on, John Konami. If
It's occurring to me that I used the same art for Darn and Club, by the way. Just to call myself out.
Double darn.
This is downloaded clip art that I purchased, so my bad. Double darn.
Hey, but it's good looking clip art. These dragonflies are sick looking.
Yeah. They do have a similar art aesthetic to the Chris Shatter, which I thought was nice. Let me change that.
Makes it a little aesthetically consistent. Those are the words. Alrighty. Well, let me go ahead and grab the Nova scale, and we'll go ahead and put some numbers to some qualities.
I guess to note one last synergy. So there is exactly one Dragon Spirit and one Dragon Flip.
Uh-huh. Well,
and they are Yamada Dragon and Subterra Guru.
Yeah, draw till 5.
If you pull it off, I don't know. Like, good for you. That's all I gotta say.
I miss you, Junior Journey. Please come back to me. Alrighty. So, novelty. I think it's safe to say that there has never been a flip spirit monster. No, that's not true. There have been flip spirits, but not a whole.
Not in the TCG. No, they have not.
No, they have flip ritual. Never mind. Don't listen to me.
They don't even have a flip ritual. That's not true either.
Oh no, we have Tarot Wraith.
They have a ritual that works with flips.
No, Tarot Wraith is a flip monster. Tarot Ray isn't a flip, but that new one is a flip monster.
Oh, it is. You're right.
Yeah, but I keep conflating this with them because I think I see the ritual and it messes up. But no, you're right. There are no flip spirits. This is a whole new mechanic. It's goofy, and I love it. And you've gone a long way towards making them, making sure that they work viably instead of just taking all of the keywords in Yu-Gi-Oh! That make cards slow and unusable and actually making them functional.
Yeah.
So, a 5 in novelty. Easy. Selena, thank you for the raid. Hello, everyone. We're looking at custom cards. Did you know that flip spirit monsters exist? They do now, in our minds. Alright, objectivity. I know you. I know you're a stickler for this stuff, and I certainly didn't see any issues with it. So I think all your problem-solving card text is good. Power
I
level
don't
wise,
see anything.
nah, I don't. I think you're all good on that one. And power level wise, I think this is also good. I don't know of anything busted here. Obviously, if you pull off Mega Nuria's effect to steal a whole bunch of face down cards, you're in the clear. But you have to put in a lot of work to do that.
Yeah, it's very funny. The deck is definitely has the Chris Shatter issue of like all of its interruptions have to happen on a different chain, with the exception of Mega Nura. So they're not really interruptions. Like every one of the flip up effects with like Spike and and Club, they're gonna have to activate on a new chain. So if you need a card gone this chain, it's not gonna work. They have Mega Nura to help deal with that. And they have Brute Force to help deal with that, because Brute Force is flip a card face down. But like besides that, well, they do have some decent interruption effects and a lot of good quick effects. I would put it like almost Vanquish Soul. None of the Return to the Hand effects are interruptions, really. I made sure of that, because that would seem really annoying if it got. Cruiser kind of is. It's a banish of a spell trap that it activates in response to.
Ooh.
Which is just like a way to out like floodgates. I always have like goals when I make an archetype, and one of them is I need to make sure this can out a fucking flip skill drain out of nowhere, and then I need to make sure it can deal with hand traps. Even if it doesn't do too much, I want it to be able to have that.
And there it is. So yeah, objectivity, I5. I think this deck is solid, but it's not gonna ruin a format. Versatility. Now, have you thought about what this could be splashed around with? Because I look at this and I'm like, this is not something that meshes well with any playstyle.
Oh well, first off, Subterror. You can run a Subterror engine in this. You can run this in Subterror, because you've got a monster that just said Summon Guru. But negate its effects. Oh no! If only I could change the position of the card so its effects wouldn't be negated anymore.
Okay, so Subterror Dragon Spy is a conceivable deck.
That's definitely one of them. Otherwise, there's not a lot. They don't lock you in a lot of places, so I don't think they lock you at all. Which
it did look like it.
Means you can do some dragon things with it, but it would be very difficult because they're not chaos types. You can't do a lot of that. But the option is there. And theoretically, Pet Tail, which we did not show, can return itself can be special summoned. Which is just there for fun. Because now you can 1-for-1 it. And it can add a water dragon. So you can, like, it's a 1-for-1 is a 1.5 card title. Which isn't relevant, but, like, you could do it.
And that's the important part. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 2 in versatility. There's a little bit of splash we can do. And
Fair.
awesomeness. I think it's a 5. This is an outrageous idea. You've fleshed this out more than I could possibly have imagined what it would be. It
I
takes
had half of this done
and like kind of bends it in interesting ways. I think it's really cool.
I will say, very funny. I had like half of this done when I went to bed last night.
And then it was time to churn it out.
I did, yeah. I'm very good at doing these fast, but I'm not good at doing them early.
You need to have the pressure, otherwise, what's the point?
Autism.
Man, when you have the I can get cards done quickly autism and not the science and math autism.
God, I wish.
All right, well, thank you again. These are really cool. Thanks for showing them off. And I look forward to whatever next batch of kooky, crazy concoctions you come up with.
I will do my best.
You always do. All right, take it easy. Have yourself a good one, all right?
All right, yep. Bye.
Bye. All right. Thank you all so much for your patience. Whenever I have my guest on, I want to make sure that they get to have the spotlight and they get to talk about their stuff. But thank you, Selena, so much for rating in. Thank you all so much. And big thank you to Sokolov, Jartsa Master, and Barankai for following. Thank you for joining the Orbital platform, where today we are covering my patrons' custom cards that they have submitted. We're doing a couple of days of that because there's too many for a single day. There's just too much creativity bubbling up from all the people who have gravitated over here. So thank you, Selena. If you have not followed her already, please be sure to do so. You may remember her as the leader of the Fortress of Duel. She rallies me and Laura every month to fight all of you heathens trying to get in our fortress. And if you're not following her, you really should. She's a big sweetheart, lots of energy, really awesome, very fun. Please go give her a follow to help show my appreciation. There's only so much that I can appreciate on my own. I need your guys' help to help out with that. Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on to our next group of cards. Marluxia is here, as well as Captain Blitz. Blitz and Marluxia, are both of you here? And if so, do either of you need to leave at a certain point? I want to make sure that your cards get covered before you have to leave. We have Captain Blitz. There's us heathens. Yeah, y'all heathens. Y'all showing up with your combo decks and your thingamabobs and your rutabagas. So, yeah, you all are monsters. And I love each and every one of you. Okay, well, if we're all doing stuff, there's no time constraint, I'll just go in the order that they were submitted. So I'm going to go ahead and get Blitz's cards pulled up here. And our Winnebagos. The best form of interstellar travel as per the hit space documentary Spaceballs. Time for another Nova Melt attack. Oh yeah, because I saw what Blitz sent over, and Blitz sent more Digimon Yu-Gi-Oh cards. That's right. For those of you not in the know, I have done roughly 3 or 4 videos on the Digimon TCG. I love that game. And Blitz has, for the second time in a row, I believe, taken it upon himself to craft Yu-Gi-Oh's iconic cards and make them into Digimon cards. So if you don't know how this works, I'm very sorry. We're gonna have to enjoy trying to understand the mechanics of a different game while being kind of familiar with them via what you know about Yu-Gi-Oh! Iconic, aka 5D stuff. I mean, last time it was Yusei's cards. This time it's Jack Atlas's cards. And the clearly best leader of the Autobots for plays Optimus if you're Hasbro in 1986. Teehee. Alrighty, let's get this started. Let's talk about Trust Guardian. It is an egg Digimon, so it starts in your egg deck. It's red color, level 2, training, free, and angel are its attributes. Inheritable effect, what it gives to the Digimon that it is under as a Digivolution source. Once per turn, if this Digimon with Synchro in its types would be deleted by an opponent, this Digimon loses 1000 DP instead. Alright, so that's pretty good. So DP is like their attack points. It's also like their health points. If a Digimon is reduced to 0 DP, it's destroyed. But damage doesn't reduce your DP. In fact, you don't take damage, but you just like lose DP from minus effects. So this helps to keep it stronger. And that works like how Trust Guardian works in the game, where the Synchro monster that uses it as material can lose attack power to keep it from being destroyed by battle. So that's a pretty good translation of the card. Alright, Dark Resonator, 2000 DP, play cost of 3. It's a level 2 Digimon, colors are black and white. It's a red level 3 Digimon. Or it digivolves from level 2. Black and white Digimon. Rookie Virus Demon are its attributes. Your turn, and during your main phase, accelerate. Play a Digimon from your hand with Synchro and its traits without paying its memory cost by placing Digimon you have in play whose total play cost equal its play cost under it, including this card and at least one other Digimon. Transfer all Digivolution cards. The Digimon gains Rush so it can attack immediately, and Inheritable, it gains Blocker so it can block attacks. Elvenbon, hey Elvenbon, how's it going? King Potato, I made a custom card working on others. Sick, good to hear. Lemon, I'm going to show up with MetaZoo cards next month. I will understand nothing. I at least know what Digimon does. Okay. Blitz, just because you did that, I'm going to have to go further. You better understand. Okay, I know Vanguard cards, though. I know that. I've played some of that. Neither will I. Excellent. Okay. So accelerates, the accelerate mechanic, if I remember correct, it kind of spells it out right now. It's how we make our Synchro Digimon. Digimon doesn't have an extra deck. The egg deck is not analogous to an extra deck, but it is a separate deck. So that's not where our Synchro monsters would go. They're going to go in our main deck as usual. Like it says, the Digimon that you summon out and immediately stack onto it have to match the play costs. Digimon come with play costs, how much memory you have to spend to play it out of your hand directly. So if the Synchro monster that we're going to make with this is Red Dragon Archfiend, which I assume it is, we would need to have a Digimon with a play cost of 5 to stack with this to summon the Synchro monster out of our hand for free. I love the stuff, conventions of games into other games. Oh, it's so good. I love seeing translations between different card games and how their effects work. Like, it's so good. You could also make Stardust. Nothing is stopping you. You could, if you were a dirty, filthy TCG player. Prepared to pull out the most BS Vanguard I do. Okay, Vice Dragon. Play cost 5. Hey, I was right on that. DP 4000 Digivolves from level 3 Black or White Digimon. Red level 2. So, they don't Digivolve from other red cards. It's very interesting. So, it's very much encouraging us to just play these cards. It's a Champion, Virus, Evil, Dragon are its attributes. Play cost is reduced by 4 if you have no Digimon in play. So, you could just play this for 1. Kind of like how Vice Dragon is easier to summon. If this Digimon is played by paying only 1 memory, its DP becomes 1,000. Also very much like Vice Dragon. No, I made these Digimon with the intent of being played together. Yusei's stuff is white. So these can Digivolve on top of Yusei's stuff, but not Jack's stuff. Alright. Red Dragon Archfiend, 10,000 DP. Play cost of 8, red level 6 Digimon. It's an Ace Synchro Evil Dragon for all of its attributes. When attacking, trash all of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Heck yeah. On your turn, end of turn, and once per turn, if this Digimon is suspended, trash all the unsuspended Digimon that you have in play. So, So, this is how it translates. So, a suspended Digimon. In Yu-Gi-Oh! You have monsters in attack position and defense position. And those determine how the card functions insofar as combat goes. In Digimon, it's more like with Magic the Gathering, where a monster is either active... active is not the right word. Or there's unsuspended and suspended. There's not a different word for it. So you're either suspended, in which case you can suspend your stuff to do things, or you're suspended, in which case you can't, like, do most things. Most things require you to suspend. So, like, attacking, blocking, all that stuff. So, while a monster being suspended isn't analogous to being in defense position, it is still turned sideways. So, it punishes your opponent for attacking into you. In fact, it's kind of like the opposite, right? Because Red Dragon Archfiend punishes your opponent for walling up by punching, but if your opponent's monsters or Digimon are suspended, it implies that they're using their effects or attacking. So you're actually punishing them for being aggressive. But when it comes to the flip side, where it, like, if it destroys our own cards, that are in defense position that didn't attack this turn, yeah, that's a perfect 1-to-1 analogous thing. Because if they're unsuspended, well, they could have maybe used an effect to suspend them, so maybe they didn't attack, but it's a lot closer. So that's a pretty good translation as well. All right, our last card, the Tamer cards. So in Digimon, there are 3 types of broad card types. There's 3 of them. So there's the Digimon, which are kind of like our monsters here in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's what are the spells and traps called? I forget already. It's been so long. Anyway, there's the spells and traps. Options, thank you. There's option cards, which are basically our spell cards. And then there are tamers, which are our like continuous spell cards. They stay on the board. They help give us a lot of bonuses. So in this case, it's Jack. The tamers are usually the people, not in the show. So this makes sense for that. It's a red tamer, play cost of 4. Rule: if you have a Digimon with Synchro in its traits, you may play this card ignoring color requirements. Now, that one, I don't think it needs to be there, because that's the funny little thing about option cards, is that all the different cards have colors in Digimon. Kind of like Magic the Gathering. You can play Tamers and Digimon without having to worry about color at all. If you want to Digivolve on top of another Digimon, you do have to check its color and what your Digimon can evolve on top of. When it comes to options, you can't play them unless you have a Digimon or a Tamer that has its color. That gives you the bonus. So, you don't need that for Jack. That might have been an oversight. Anyway, all turns, you gain memory, suspend this card, gain 2 memory, so you get even more memory. And your turn, suspend this card, then one of your Digimon gains 1000 DP times the number of Digimon that you have in play for the rest of the turn. And security effect, this is the effect that it gets whenever your life points are measured in 5 security cards. If they get flipped up and they have a security effect, they get to activate. And this one, like, I think almost every Tamer has it. You just play it onto the board. So, it gives you extra memory whenever you gain memory. Crucial, kind of one of the best ways to make sure that you have more plays, because if you run out of memory, your turn ends. And you can suspend it to make a Digimon bigger. So that's pretty nifty. We've learned everything we can about this. I think it's time for the Nova scale. I don't have anything to... I don't know if there's anything I want to add, or can add. I don't know if I have the knowledge for it. So, novelty. Well, the Synchro mechanic by itself is wholly new to Digimon, so of course that stuff is new. Everything else here, there's the constantly lowering DP for protection. There's the Rush edition. Red Dragon Archfiend's pretty funny. It's Ace, but it doesn't have any of, like, the... It's not Red Dragon Archfiend Ace. It's like Ace Monsters. It's a different distinction here. Both effects require suspending, so Jack Atlases are mutually exclusive. Ah, true. True. So we can't do both. We can get one. So depending on what the situation is. I think novelty is like a 3. I think the introduction of a new summoning mechanic is more than enough. The rest of the cards are good translations of their original Yu-Gi-Oh! Counterparts, but as far as the game, I believe some of these effects are pretty for par for the course. Objectivity, outside of a little redundant text on Jack, I believe everything here kind of works out. The only other thing I think is a technicality would be, like, very few things set things to a different play cost. They say things like their play cost is reduced by 4 or something to make up for the fact that there's a lot of cost reduction and reduction and increasing, so they try not to set values, but I don't think that's a hard and fast rule that it can't do that. So I think it's a 4 in objectivity. Pretty solid. And I think the effects are nifty. Red Dragon Archfiend might sound strong. But 10k on a level 6 Digimon is actually, I think, a little below average. And the effect is a lot of removal against certain kinds of opponents, but once they know what's going on here, I don't know if they're going to walk into it as much. So I don't think it's going to break the game. So it's a 4. Versatility, I'm going to give it like... I kind of want to give it a 2. Technically, you could play it in a lot of things, but you need these specific cards to make this work, which means it doesn't play well with other deck types. I'm, of course, not knowledgeable enough in the larger Digimon discourse to understand where this might fit into it, but it feels like it's a very isolated pool of cards that doesn't mesh with the other one, so it's getting it too. But awesomeness... It's Red Dragon Archfiend in Digimon. I have to love it. It's a 5 in awesomeness. This is really cool. I think it's cool. I'm giving the Jack Atlas, the Master of Foster, the one big tamer while all the rest are lamer, a 14 on the Nova scale. Thank you, Blitz. I have no clue how Digimon types work. I just put the funny words. It's the funny words. Hey, I can dig the funny words. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get Marluxia's cards here, and that'll be the last for this presentation. Whoop. Oop. There we go. Alright, Tomorrow Lucia's a Girl has 2 Konami official artwork, or official concept arts for 2 new Penguin cards! Ones that I don't think we have yet. We haven't gotten these 2, even though they were in the Heroes thing. So, Konami, get on this. Like, right now. Alrighty. So, Penguin Fighter is a level 2 Water Aqua monster with 1800 attack and 0 defense. If you control no monsters, or all the monsters you control are water, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only use this effect of this card once per turn. All penguin monsters you control can attack directly while this card is face up on the field. And once per turn, you can target a card your opponent controls and return it and all cards adjacent to it to the hand. Wow. Okay, that slaps. It's not a flip monster like most of them tend to be, but, you know, forcing a flip effect on a monster that already has some pretty good stuff was probably going to detract from the whole. Great attack stat on a level 2. Gives us a gateway to punching our opponent out. And it's removal that can be mass removal if your opponent is not aware of where their cards are. I think this is a pretty good penguin to have in your roster. And it gives you a more offensive tool where the deck is usually reactive. Fighter allows you to be proactive. Alright. Penguin Mage, level 2 Water Aqua monster, 500 attack, 700 defense. If you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are water monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card or monster effect while you control another face-up penguin monster as a quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, return that card to the hand. If any cards are banished by a penguin monster's effect, you can target up to that many number of cards in the banishment and return them to the hand. Banishment mentioned! Banishment! Woo! Okay, so I want to get a full feed on this one. We special summon it under a no monster or all water monster condition. If you have another penguin, you get to quick effect negate and then return the card to the hand. Now, normally when a card is like when you activate a normal spell or a normal trap card, effects that return cards to the hand don't work on them because they're already marked to go to the graveyard. I think it's an interesting ruling in a game that doesn't have the stack, but I understand that it would make cards brokenly repeatable if you could do that with effects like Phoenix Wing Wind Blast or something. But if this specifically names it, I'm going to say that it is supposed to return the card back to the hand, insofar as, you know, that's the resolution. Your opponent gets a second try at it later, but for now it's going back to the hand. Also, I think cards like Full Salvo return cards to hand that would normally just go to the graveyard, so I think if it's part of a specific negation, I think it can do that. Okay, if any cards are banished by a penguin monster effect, target up to that many cards in the banishment and return them to the hand. So if you have the no penguin and you banish cards when they get bounced, you can take your banished cards and put them back in your hand. Technically, you can put your opponent's banished cards in the hand as well, but generally I think you're trying to recycle your own cards with this. This is another interesting one to have on board, and it's pretty good. It gives us an Omni Negate, and while it gives it back to our opponent, sometimes you just need to stop one card and you're done. Oh, Marluce has got an additional thing to say. I missed it. What did I miss? Hold on. Marlucia's got the sauce. Mage doesn't recycle. If no penguin banishes it, Mage can banish more. That is true. If no penguin is on the board, then the return to hand effect will banish it, and that will just solidly get rid of it. That is true. I knew that connection in my brain for some reason, but I didn't say it out loud, but you are completely correct. As always, no penguin makes all of our penguin effects better, because now it just becomes a hard negate that also removes the cards so they don't get it back. So, there we go. And then that feeds into the effect that gets us, once again, our banished cards back. If we're worried that our opponent has cards in their banishment that they can use, then we can also put those cards back in their hand, but that's probably a bad place to put them. So if you negate, you can banish through no penguin. Oh yeah, because if it's in a penguin effect activates, you activate the no penguin of Chainlink 2, so it doesn't even have to be on the field. It just summons itself back out, and then it just vanishes. Okay, well, these are two very strong cards. Let's check out the Nova scale. Let's see how they handle stuff. So, novelty. We're already working on penguin stuff, so what more do we add here? Penguin Fighter. Well, first off, these are two non-flip penguin monsters that we are playing. Wild stuff. Penguin Fighter is very aggressive. It lets you punch in for game where normally you have to work through an entire board to do that. Mage is an Omni Negate to help you with stuff, and it can recycle your cards. These are an interesting way to take the deck. This one really doesn't take us into a different direction. Fighter gives us a more aggressive option. It doesn't super divert from the core of the deck, so I think it's a 2 in novelty for this one. I think. I could be wrong here. Objectivity. I saw that someone mentioned in chat, Vaughn was saying that a level 2 monster having 1800 attack is pretty big. That being said, I don't think that every deck is going to just run this because of that. I think high attack, low level monsters right now don't really mean anything because functionally they're level 4 monsters with a different level. It's just like it doesn't really factor into much mechanically outside of certain level synergies. Also 0 defense. Yeah, but that's a different discussion. The attacking directly is the big boost here because now we have big monsters in the form of Penguin Brave. And then, of course, if we don't want to deal with that, if we want to just get rid of cards entirely, Fighter can bounce a card. Multiple cards, maybe. So it's pretty strong. These cards are pretty good. I worry a little bit about Mage having, like, we have a main deck Omni Negate that does banish when we get to the No Penguin. I think it's fine, though. I think it's fine. You can play around negates. Having one isn't that terrible. We have a bit of interruption coming from Penguin Brave, but I think just having a little guy like this, especially because it requires you to have another Penguin, isn't terrible. So we'll go with 5 in objectivity. Versatility. Now there is a little like a pinch of things we can work with on this one because they are level 2 water aqua monsters. That means that they are valid material for totally awesome. You can overlay that. I'm sure the deck already had ways to do that anyway, but these are 2 more that let you do that. They are free special summons. Oh my goodness. So we got a little frog action going on here. So I think it's a 2 in versatility. It's generally for penguins, but we have some aqua synergies, we have some water synergies. Maybe Ice Jades show up. I'm not sure what the labs have been for Ice Jade penguins, but it feels like there is space for that. And awesomeness. Folks, I like the penguins. I like the pingu. Look at this little monk doing a flying jump kick. Look at this scared babby trying to make their way in an adventuring world. I've got to give it a 5. So these penguins have a 14 on the Nova scale. Marluxia, thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you for bringing the penguins to this side of the pond. And by pond, I mean the dark, inky depths of space. Alrighty. So, we had a couple of unexpected people. That's on me. But that does it for Friday's stream. Thank you all so much. Make sure that you are here early, and I mean early tomorrow, because we are covering a few more custom cards before I am participating in Hasher's 3v3 Edison Relay Race Tournament. That's right, I am being joined by Junk. I'm being joined by Graves. We're going to team up with a mystery crew, and we're going to race through this relay tournament, and we're going to show everyone we're the best dang duelists around. Let me go ahead and throw up Hasher. Does this work? This is the wrong hat. Don't follow this one. This is the wrong one. There is someone that has the name. It's not them. I gotta put a parentheses. No, it's not. Okay, there he is. There's Asher right there. He's follow him right now. Right now. I wish I had that name. It's so lame. Hey, Asher, how's it going? You're not the DK crew, so you guys have already lost. No, I'm beating up Donkey Kong for real. That guy's out of here. Which one is the real Hasher? The one in chat! The one right here! Hey, Hasher, how's it going? Alrighty, let's go ahead and raid over to someone, and I've got to go check in with my crew, actually, because we're going to be doing some testing for tomorrow. So, who's active? Who's twitching it up here? Bum. Red Claw. Let's do Red Claw again. I know we rated him earlier, but he's still in the middle of his big, gigantic subathon. Let's go and show him a bit more love, okay? They're playing. What are they playing right now? What are they doing over there? What's that big old T-Rex doing? They're playing Dino Fighters, Fossil Fighters. Pitting those creatures together. My God. What has our world come to? Boom. All right. Folks, thank you all once again for stopping by. Super appreciate it. Make sure that you follow me, follow Hasher, and tune in tomorrow for more custom cards, and then go over to his channel for Edison stuff. Because I'm bringing something spicy. You think I'm playing something like Machina or Blackwing? No. I'm cooking. I'm gonna be cooking tomorrow, so don't miss it. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.